So we're a select group this morning. There's not so many of us, but enough. All the important people are here. So we're going to do self-care meditation today. And I've been talking about awareness this week and the importance of awareness and what it is and what it can do. So I just want to carry on with that really. And with regard to this particular meditation, awareness is just as important. Awareness is a very difficult thing to describe because, in a way, well, it doesn't really exist. Awareness is everything that's happening, everything that's arising and passing away, and our knowledge of it. So we're in this. It's sort of consciousness. It's a pure consciousness, and we're just experiencing everything as it arises and passes away. And because this awareness isn't influenced by our conditioning or by our habitual mind, our chattering mind, this awareness is completely, you could say, empty. In fact, that's what we normally say in Buddhism. Awareness is completely empty. It just consists of the arising and passing away. But that emptiness, in some mysterious way, is full of compassion. And it's full of wisdom as well. The two qualities of enlightenment. Awareness is compassion and wisdom. So in this practice this morning, we're bringing a sense of compassion to ourselves. We're bringing wisdom as well. We're bringing wisdom to see that these ideas we have about ourselves, these negative ideas we have about ourselves, are just ridiculous. They're not true at all. And we're bringing compassion to the pain that these ideas about ourselves cause us. So what I'm encouraging you to do in all meditations, but in this one as well, is to sort of stand back in awareness and watch what happens. So our aware mind is our mind that is always there, but we don't notice it because it's covered up with thinking. So if we can just drop the thinking a little bit, the chattering in our mind, then the awareness that's left can observe, can stand back, as it were, and observe what we're doing. It can observe the fact that we are telling stories about ourselves. It can observe the fact that we're causing pain to ourselves by telling those stories. So this is what this meditation is about, together with some ideas on how awareness can actually help us. And these are, those of you who've done this a few times will know, these are this sense of being our own best friend, that's awareness. This sense of looking after this vulnerable child within us, that's awareness. And this part of us that soothes the critical voice within us, that's awareness. So awareness is just being aware of what's happening and bringing the compassion of awareness to whatever is happening, particularly the negative things. And if we can do that, then we slowly begin to pull away from this negative self impression that we have. Takes a while, takes a long time. I'm still doing it, but it does work, and we can extract ourselves from this sense of not being good enough, or not looking good enough, or not having enough friends, or not being clever enough, or whatever it is, or the fear of just being around and trying to work our way through life. So that's something to cogitate on. So we'll begin, and welcome to everybody who's joined us since I started talking. That includes Michelle and Isabel. Good to see you all here, and welcome to anybody who's joining us on the recording. Okay, so we're going to do this meditation about self-care. Oh, and Julie. Good morning, Julie. Okay, so I've talked quite a bit, so just letting go of that. Don't need to think very much about that at the moment. It'll be there in the background. And just noticing how we are this morning. And having a kindly attitude to how you are. You might feel quite grumpy, but just be kind. Be kind about feeling grumpy. You might feel quite bright and happy, and that's good. Or you might feel a bit bored or resentful or anything. But whatever your mood, just have a sense of kindness towards it. We're all struggling human beings, just doing our best to make our way through life. So can we have a kindness towards that? We don't need to be perfect. Just noticing how you are physically. Maybe some aches. You might feel a bit sluggish first thing in the morning. However you're feeling, again, it's fine. You don't need to change it. Just have a sense of kindness towards this hard-working body of ours. And just noticing what's happening within your experience now. The weight of your body pressing down on the bed, the floor, the cushion, the chair. The sense of contact with whatever you're lying on. And contact, if you're sitting on the chair or kneeling or cross-legged, the contact with the floor as well. And if you're lying, or the bed. And just rejoicing that you can feel these things. Rejoicing that you can hear sounds, any sounds you can hear. And whatever you can feel with the sense of touch, maybe your clothes or your pyjamas rubbing against the skin. Movement of the air on your face. The taste in your mouth. And anything you can smell. It's all very wonderful. We just take it for granted. And bringing our awareness to our chest area. Noticing the breathing coming and going. The movement of the chest. And very gently moving down to the bottom of the rib cage. Trying to locate your heart center just behind the bottom of the rib cage in the middle. Might help to think of someone you really love. And just notice that perhaps when you do that, you get a very pleasant feeling in your heart center. The feeling that we might call love. If you don't get that, then don't try too hard, just relax and think of somebody that you really, really love. Maybe a pet or a person. And if you can feel this pleasant feeling in the heart center, just allow it to grow and spread. This is an opening up of the heart, a softening of our being. A teacher called Pema Chodron calls this the soft spot. So in the first stage, we're going to try and stay in contact with our heart center if you can. And just bringing yourself to mind. Without thinking too much, just having a sense of who you are, how you are. And the different things that trouble you about yourself. Times when you feel anxious about yourself. The negative thoughts that you sometimes have about yourself. The way you tell yourself off. And sometimes verbally abuse yourself, maybe. There might be a lack of self-worth. Or a sense of not being good enough, not being clever enough, good looking enough. There might be things about the way you look and your body that you don't like. Or your mental ability. Or maybe a constant worry about what other people think about you. So we all have things like this going on in our heads, in our minds. And they come from our conditioning, they come from the things that have happened to us, the things people have said, the experiences we've had over our lifetime, particularly when we were small. And they get ingrained and they begin to feel as if they're true. But if we stand back and notice them with our awareness, we can see that they're just thoughts. They're just thoughts that trouble us. And if we stay in awareness, in mindfulness, we can let those thoughts go. Every time they rise, we can let them go. We don't have to believe our negative thoughts. We can let these thoughts go and fall back into awareness. There is no problem. And as I said before, awareness is always compassionate. So can we bring this compassion to our lives? Our lives often seem like a struggle at times. And we're doing our best. Can we give ourselves some slack? Can we look kindly upon ourselves and upon our negative thoughts and our mistakes and our dissatisfaction? So I just talked then about supporting ourselves. So in a way, what we're doing is we're being our own best friend. We're using our awareness of what's happening in our minds, of these negative thoughts. We're using that to notice how difficult it is for us sometimes. So we can allow ourselves, through awareness, to be our own best friend, to always be there. If we can just see beyond these negative thoughts, we'll find a supportive awareness. We can look after ourselves. We can reassure ourselves. Without thinking, we can just be there as a positive force, our own best friend. So just staying with the heart center, or going back to it if you've forgotten it. Just allowing your heart to open. And resolving to become your own best friend. one of the things that really needs our support is the vulnerability that we all feel at times. It's just a human condition, fear and vulnerability. It's like a small, frightened child within us. Not feeling good enough sometimes, worried about what might happen, worried about what other people think, unsure. So can we look after our small child? Might be worth even having some kind of an imaginary idea of our small child. Can we hold his or her hand and reassure them, care for them when they're feeling frightened? Can we use our awareness to nurture this small child within and help it to grow and feel confident? And along with the small child, we sometimes find this critical voice, sometimes quite a harsh critical voice, telling us perhaps that we're useless, that we ought to be better than we are, that we're no good, always sitting on our shoulders, criticizing what we do, worrying that it's not good enough. So this critical voice may seem really harsh, but actually it's full of concern. This critical voice just wants us to be safe. Like the small child within, the critical voice is acting out of fear and worry. So can we also look after our critical voice? Can we also have a sense of kindness to it, soothing it, using our awareness of what it's saying to just bring some love and compassion to the pain that our critical voice is feeling? Can we care for our critical voice in just the same way that we care for our vulnerable child? And finally, coming back to the whole of ourselves, this complex human being, striving to do its best in the world, sometimes finding it quite hard. We're like a precious jewel, so many different facets, and some of them need a bit of polishing. So can we have a sense of love and compassion to those parts of us that we can change? Can we have a sense of acceptance to those parts of us that we can't change? All we need to do is just recognize the difference. Can we learn to take care of the small child within? Supporting her or him, reassuring them, giving them the love that they really need. Can we soothe our critical voice? Let it know that it's okay. We don't have to be perfect. And can we be our own best friend, supporting ourselves in difficult times, being there for ourselves when we need some care and attention. More than anything, can we open our hearts to this fragile human being that is ourselves, tender and sensitive, anxious and frightened at times. Can we bring love and compassion to our negative states? And finally, we might get the sense that it's only us, it's only me that feels like this. But in fact, every, however they act, feels just the same. We all have our ups and downs. We all have our negative states of mind. We all feel that sometimes we're not good enough. So can we also open our hearts to others, to those around us, whether we know them or not, who are going through exactly what we go through. Maybe they live in different circumstances. Maybe they're very different to us in many ways, but inside they feel exactly the same. So can we spread our compassion and love to them as well? Can we have a sense of solidarity with them as we make our way through life, doing our very best? So welcome to Shobit, Marnie, Barbara and Chrissy and Chris, who joined us later on. Good to see you all this morning. Thank you for coming. And can I encourage you to try and remember to just catch these negative thoughts about yourself through the day. It's a really good practice. So when your mind starts saying something negative, just let it go. Just come back into awareness and let the negativity just slide away. It's not true. Usually, it's not true. There might be things we can do to improve ourselves, but all we need to do is to see them clearly and we will change them. We don't need to beat ourselves up over it. So just let these thoughts go. Okay, so that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with the mindfulness of breathing. If you'd like to make a donation to help York Buddhist Centre keep doing things like this, then that would be great. We would really appreciate that. It need only be a £5 or more, whatever you can afford. There's a link with this video, and also if you go on our website, there's a donations tab. But we'd really appreciate your help. We have no other income. You are all we have. The people who use our classes and come to our meditations and so on are our only source of support. So if you can, please help us. Anyway, good to see you, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a really nice day, and lots of love to you all.